This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather Holler. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sport Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, December 4th, 1965, one of the worst feelings by a foreign-born player had happened, as the legendary Masanori Murakami had left the San Francisco Giants to go back to Japan to play baseball. You're thinking, this guy is nothing special. Well, he was something special. He was actually the first Japanese-born player to play for a Major League Baseball team. His own team, the Nankai Hawks, actually drafted him. Left him, let him go to Europe. To the United States, and all that. So Masanori Murakami was born in May 1944 and entered pros while still attending high school at age 18 with the Nankai Hawks. So the Nankai Hawks are the predecessor to the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks that you see in the Japanese leagues now. Regardless of that, he actually was sent by Nankai alongside two other young players to the San Francisco Single A team in Fresno as a baseball exchange student. And he actually was only scheduled to stay in the United States until June. But the Hawks didn't bring him back to Japan, and he stayed with the Giants organization the rest of the season. So he played in Single A and then was promoted to the majors September 1st, 1964, becoming the first Japanese player to play in the major leagues. He did okay. He struck out two of his four batters against the Mets. He actually pitched the final three innings of a big win over Houston on September 29, 1964, become the first Japanese foreign player to win a game in the majors. In 9 games, he pitched a total of 15 innings while having 15 strikeouts and 1 walk for a 1.8 ERA. Because of how good he was, Murakami was told by the San Francisco Giants, "You're not going back to Japan. You're coming back." The Nankai Hawks were fuming, saying he had to come back to Japan. So during the 1964 offseason, things would happen. Finally, the commissioner of Nippon Professional Baseball, aka the Japanese League, Uchimura, had to make the final decision which Murakami would play for. The commissioner made a compromise. Murakami would head back to Nankai after playing one more full season with the Giants. So he played in 45 games of the 1965 Giants campaign, in which they were trying so hard to catch those pesky rival Dodgers to win the National League. He did okay, 4-1 with a 3.75 ERA. So Murakami was then returned to Japan in 1966, but failed to live up to the team's high expectations. He did win 18 games in 1968 and helped Nankai win the 1973 Japan League. Then he would play for Hanshin and the Nippon Ham Fighters, helping them win the 1981 Japan League Championship, the Japan Series. His language skills were okay. He could barely speak or understand English when he first came to the United States, and always had a dictionary on hand to communicate with teammates. When promoted to the majors, he was told to go to New York City and given his plane ticket on the spot. He signed a major league contract with the Giants, even though he could not read a single word written on the contract. So anyway, Murakami was pretty much bad speaking English and all that. He did return to Giants camp in 1983, becoming a batting practice pitcher for Giants home games. He was a commentator and then a pitching coach for the Nippon Ham Fighters. He would also be a pitching coach for the Fukuoka Hawks and the Seibu Lions. He's a commentator for NHK's Japanese League broadcast. All set. He actually was a founding board member for Special Olympics Japan, promoting understanding about people with mental disabilities in Japan. He had diversity and all of that. He was actually honored by the Giants in 2008 when a bobblehead of his likeness was given away at the game against the White Sox as part of the Japanese Heritage Night promotion because San Francisco has a lot of Japanese people. He was actually honored again during the 50th anniversary of his debut on May 15th, 2014, during San Francisco Japanese Heritage Night, and threw out the first pitch. Of course, the fun didn't start. A lot of people thought that there was gonna be an influx of Japanese players in Major League Baseball. Unfortunately, a secret deal between MLB and Japan and the fact that the Japanese leagues did not want to lose their best players to the major leagues meant that no Japanese foreign players would head to Japan, back from Japan to the U.S. until Hideo Nomo stole everyone's attention in 1995. Many former MLBers like Davey Johnson, a young Randy Bass, Warren Cromartie, those guys would head to Japan to play baseball, saying that it was one way for washed up major league players to go to Japan and try to revitalize his career and maybe get a contract back to America. It's like Mr. Baseball, a film I loved about the Japanese baseball culture and how Americans view it. But yeah, it was a lost opportunity to promote diversity in Major League Baseball. Was there a secret deal to ruin Japanese born players from playing in the major leagues? We never know. But heck, 1995, everything with Nomo's success, the floodgates opened and there was no agreement to banish it. You have people like Masahiro Tanaka the Rakuten Golden Eagles to play baseball for the Yankees and then head back and win a Japan Series championship. I think it's first season back. You have great players like Kenji Jojima, um, Taddy Gucci, who was a pretty good defensive player for the White Sox. You have, of course, Ichiro, because in 2001 he stole everyone's attention by winning the Major League Rookie of the Year, even though that he played many years in Japan. You have Hideki Matsui, aka Godzilla, because of his acne. You have Tachihiro Saito. You have Yezi Kikuchi. And of course, you have the great Shohei Ohtani, who left Japan to play in the major leagues with the Angels and now the Dodgers, wearing a championship ring and making Japan very much happy. So, anyway, in the style of Japanese thing, I would have said Konnichiwa at the start. I should have, but anyway, I didn't want to be prejudiced. But anyway, I'll end in Japanese. I'm Jeff Diamond. Sayonara.